Your bodies are elsewhere, empty, vacant, waiting for something to fill them. Episode 20, Twisted by the Mist. Welcome to Echoes of Elsewhere. This is a story about people caught between two worlds, the modern, gothic shadows of New Eden and the dark, oppressive nightmare of Barovia. I'm Keith, your GM, your keeper of secrets.
I'm Edie Jones. I'm playing Rax Koshak, a dragonborn bard, and somewhere in the back of his brain is a very confused artist named Vince.
I'm Leah Skye. I'm playing Blake Emberlich, and she has secrets.
I'm playing Professor Gregor, and he's getting way too into this Renaissance fair.
I'm Tony Keone. I am playing Elliot Knight, the inventor of the most advanced AI ever created.
We left Barovia with the sister of Ismark, who was trying to get to a safer city. And as we're on our way through the woods, we came across a noose and basically, a gallows that didn't seem to have been used for a while. But as we left, we were approached by these two guys who wanted to take us to meet Madame Eva, who is apparently a fortune teller. We were skeptical of that, but ultimately ended up going there, and it looked like the same tent that we had been in New Eden, where we had all been Malkoviched into our Barovian minds. And so we're now talking with Madame Eva and trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Rax and Vince are both sort of talking out of Rax's mouth, and it's probably not super helpful. And that's sort of where we're at.
Specifically where you're at is you are in the tent of Madame Eva. Not the New Eden Madame Eva, but Madame Eva from Barovia. This is a much larger tent with multiple rooms in it. This has been her home for ages. But you're in the main room, the entranceway, where her fortune-telling paraphernalia rest. A crystal ball, tarot cards, candles burning. She sits at the table. You sit around it. She looks at you with her one good eye, kind of softly glowing in the candlelight. Father Gregor still kind of squinting his eyes from the amount of magic that's in this room, because it hasn't been that long ago since she has detect magic. And everything lit up. Rahadin, he is the manservant, the steward of the Lord of the Castle. Some may even say he's the harbinger of things to come. He is not Vistani, but he is one who has been granted the privilege to travel with the Vistani through the mist.
I assume it's your other compatriots that help him travel, or does this group here help him travel through the mists?
He prefers our Vallaki brothers. Luvash is their leader, and he is of a like mind of Rahadin.
So they're both on the Count's side, not just out of convenience or fear, but loyal. They're loyal to the Count.
Of course, yes, they are. They're loyal to the Count. We all serve the Count in our own way.
Right, you said that. And your goal of serving the Count is to set him free so that he ends his reign of terror.
Can you imagine the horror? Thousands of years, unable to leave, unable to die, unable to plot your own destiny.
Is that what you think is happening?
And she looks over at Ireena to see those you love rise up and fall, generation after generation. That not break you? How could that not turn you into a monster? We free him, we free us all.
Well then, how?
Yeah, why did you want to see us?
Knew how? I wouldn't be here in this tent. We're struggling talking to strange people who don't know where they're at. I don't know either. We've tried different things.
Right, okay. But you still think that we're magic or helpful or something?
You're different. You are here different than... You did not come as a guest of the Vistani. You did not ride our wagons through the mist. You didn't wander through on your own and come out the other side. You changed. And she takes her finger and she pokes Rax in the forehead.
I growl.
You are not alone.
No, that's correct. Please take your finger off of my forehead.
Make an insight check for me, please.
We'll do so. That's a 9. Not great.
There's a moment when she taps you in the forehead that you remember as a small child and your grandmother laying down what you could and couldn't do, and how in this very stern but lovingly voice she just said no. And you know in that moment that going against her will was not going to end well for you. In this moment, as she taps you on the forehead, you have this power dynamic that reminds you of your grandmother, Dragonborn grandmother, and you as a small child. And for an instant, you feel like that small child. And then it passes.
I think if Rax feels that, he's going to growl and stand up and back away from the table. What are you doing?
I hope that we can find a way to help each other. You are unique because you are not one, but you are two. You travel in a way no one else has.
Yeah.
Lord of the Castle cannot ride our wagons. He cannot pass through the mist. He is rejected time and time again. What if he doesn't need to physically transfer through the mist to get to the other side? What if he can do what you do?
Inhabit the minds of other beings?
It's not a question of what if. He does.
How so?
There's a man in our world who runs a business. He has the same name. He has the same face. He is there.
Is he truly there? Or is that a vessel waiting to be filled?
It's possible. It seems like something is happening there at his behest. And so I have to make the assumption that maybe he is.
Rahadin has been going to your world.
What I must ask, because you've mentioned this a few times, and it does seem like it might be important to know this. What do you mean by freeing your friend in the castle? What does that mean?
It means that he will be allowed to rest.
I think she means killing him.
And she looks at you and her eyes kind of flash wide. He will be allowed to rest. If he leaves, what happens to you when you come here?
What do you mean by that?
There's two in each of you.
I think it's different for all of us. But the way that it's worked for me is that whichever body is dominant to the world, that mind takes over.
Or do you mean our corporeal forms there?
Your mind is here.
Yes, both minds are here.
What happens to your body there? Are you a statue frozen in time, waiting for to be refilled?
So what we have found out is that, well, we have one data sample, and that is that when we reappeared over there, we literally built out of dirt and stone and created new bodies somehow. Like, our bodies dissolved into the mist. But what we also know is that when we disappeared from here, our here bodies, our Barovian bodies, continued acting and existing and having a will of sorts.
Your golems in the other world, created from sand and dirt?
Hope not, but that maybe.
I checked myself after we reformed, and sure enough, flesh, blood.
Elliot, when you checked yourself, what thumb did you cut?
Left thumb. And I actually, when I say that, I say I checked myself, and I look at it. Is there a scar on that thumb?
There is not.
Yeah,
Okay,
that makes sense.
I don't like this. I feel like this lady is just another circle of light, like trying to use us, not sharing everything that she knows. I don't know what we're doing here.
What would you like to know? I am nothing if not forthcoming.
We need to know what's happening. That while we have our pieces of a puzzle and we don't even know what the picture is.
Time for everything. But I can tell you what I know.
Would it be all right if I... it would be a lot faster if you would permit it. I could go in and just pull out what we need.
Gonna hypnotize the woman?
Not quite. Something like that.
I'm afraid your little powers are not going to be enough.
Are you going to try and stop me?
I've been doing this for a very long time. If I did not have the instinctive defensive skills to protect my mind from an intruder, I wouldn't still be here. I don't know that I can put them down even for an instant.
It's like an autonomous defense network.
There are those who wait for weakness. You are here. Your bodies are elsewhere, empty, vacant, waiting for something to fill them.
You saying that the Count could use our bodies to infiltrate our world?
There are things as bad or worse than the Lord of the Castle.
Right. Well, we're here not of our own free will. We didn't just do this because we wanted to. So how do we fix this? How?
Why are you here? That is the question I'm asking. I think it's the same question you're asking. Why are you here? What brought you to this world? I mean, why did my sister send you here? Because as you came here, she had to have done it. Did she give you anything?
She gave us information, like the vague tarot card proclamations. She give us anything else? I don't think so. Because honestly, if she had given us anything, we wouldn't have it here, because we dissolved and became and ended up in the minds of these beings.
She read your cards.
She read our cards, yes.
Take the card. Shuffle the deck. Pick a card.
All right, I'll do that.
What kind of magic is the cards, by the way?
Very old. The Night Mother. It is a gift from the Night Mother. I won't make you make a religion check for this, but you realize that in the world of Barovia, there are basically two main deity-type entities. One is the Morning Lord, the god of sunlight, rebirth, the daytime. The Night Mother is the goddess of shadows and darkness and creatures of the night. Neither are inherently good or evil, but the Night Mother is much more likely to dip her fingers into the goings-on of mortals than the Morning Lord is.
Yeah.
So all of the stories about boogeyman and ghosts and things that come and get you in the middle of the night all have their origin in the Night Mother and her quest for justice in her eyes. Because in every story, everyone's personal story, they are the hero.
Interesting. But we still haven't gotten to the bottom of any of this. You haven't given us any real answers. You just have this vague sense that we're different and weird, but you don't seem to know anything else.
No, but I don't know anything else. But you are different.
Yes.
So, how can you be here to help free the Lord of the Castle?
I don't know, but here's a card. You asked me to pick a card.
Are you here to do him harm, or are you here to open the door for him?
So, what brought us here originally, we don't know, but...
Well, we're here to retrieve some circus performers.
Right, but we wanted... Our original mission was to retrieve circus performers. That was before we got here and found out that they were here. We still don't know why we were brought here, but yes, we do still need to find the circus performers. And we know one of them was turned into a zombie.
One was turned into a zombie? How? Tell me more of this.
Well, we were holed up in a house, and I think the Count sent an attack against us because there were rats and zombies, and they came after us. We defeated them. And then what happened next was we saw this ethereal carriage, and behind it was this procession of ghosts, including versions of ourselves, headed to the castle. And our interpretation of that is, or my interpretation of that is, I guess I can say our for my anyway. Oh, God, it's so confusing. That was the Count taunting us and telling us we were going to fail.
He does not taunt you. If you were in the procession, you have already failed.
Great. Okay. Yeah. We just want to go home and close the door to this Count. Like, we just want to get our people and go home. And if I can close the door for you too, I'd be happy to do that.
Could you take him with you?
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that accomplishes.
No, that just moves the problem.
He suffers a curse brought on him by the Night Mother.
Yeah.
If he is beyond her reach, the curse would be broken. He could be the man he was meant to be.
What if that's also bad?
Then he's probably a lot easier to deal with in our world, to be honest.
Maybe.
Depends on what he brings with him.
Rax, the card that you flipped over, that's sitting on the table in front of you. It shows the tax collector.
I don't remember that one.
And Madame Eva looks at it. This is history. This is knowledge of the ancient. This is the knowledge you need to understand the Lord of the Castle.
I look at the card.
It is inverted. He is not your ally. He will be your enemy.
Yeah, we knew that already.
Vistani, my people have what you seek, what you need to find. There's a missing child.
Yes.
She is the key to the treasure.
Do you have any idea where she is, by chance?
I know of a missing child, Brother Luvash, in the Vallaki camp. His daughter, Arabella, has been missing since yesterday morning.
You bring things from one place to another. If I were to show you some object owned by that might be owned by, I don't see that many of them around here, but I noticed, for example, a watch earlier. Are these distinct enough that if I were to show you one, you'd be able to identify which among your people owned it?
Perhaps. Most likely I would.
Professor Gregor removes a dagger with some nylon and electrical tape on it and sort of swings it in his hand. This look familiar to you?
I'm not going to make you roll for anything. It does not. That is not of my people. That is not a trophy I've seen here, nor is it the type of goods we would bring back and forth. This is a show knife. It is a toy to amuse people. It's not a fighting weapon.
So you mentioned a different missing child. The missing child we were looking for is the daughter of a woman named Mary back in Barovia. Is that not the missing child you're referring to?
Gertrude,
right.
Gertrude. She reaches for the deck and she passes it over to Ireena and has Ireena draw a card. And on this one, as she flips it over, is the Hound. She is claimed, she is chained, has been taken. You will find her in the castle. There are those who foolishly believe that if they can bring the right person to the Lord of the Castle, they will appease him. She looks at Ireena. This is not the one he wants. And I think you know that. And Ireena self-consciously rubs her neck where she has been bitten twice by the Vampire Lord.
Strahd's looking for Ireena, which is why we need to get her to safety.
From what you gather from this reading, Gertrude might have been taken to satisfy the vacancy that he has. Not by the Count, but by an underling who carries a circus knife.
That's pretty wild.
I don't like that. Actually, we'll talk about it later. This whole bring Ireena to Vallaki thing starting to sound like a bad idea.
Madame Eva will say, the Church of St. Andrew is protected by the saint. It watches over them, the lord of the castle, and those of his bloodline are not permitted access to it.
So it sounds like we need to get to this windmill quickly and then head over. And Elliot looks at her when he mentions heading to the windmill, and he's trying to gauge a reaction when he says that. Looking at Madame Eva.
She hands you the cards, Elliot. Please draw a card.
He cuts like halfway to the deck and takes the top card and flips it over.
Flip it over. The cauldron. You will not be happy with what you find there. Your worst fears are true. That which you seek is already gone. All you can do is stop it from happening again. As she says this, you're noticing her blue eye is kind of like the light dims in it for a moment, and it comes back. I hate when that happens.
Elliot looks through the rest of you all, like kind of catches your eyes and has like a look of, I fucking knew it.
Are you saying the pies with the mysterious bone meal in the mix is not entirely on the up and up?
Feel like that's probably true. Now, when you say you hate when this happens, what did you mean by that?
Sometimes the visions come and I am part of them. I can see them. I am living in that moment. Sometimes they come and I'm shunted to the back of my mind as if another is driving and guiding me. And I see things through a haze, but I am not in control.
See, okay, this is interesting because that sounds a lot like our experience.
And that is interesting. What could that mean?
Could it mean that you and your counterparts in other worlds are in communication, you're just not aware of it?
Seems like it would be a hard thing to miss, but then again, if there's enough.
Or you're interpreting it not as that, but as something else that's
Yeah.
informed by your cultural norms.
You have traveled from here, from your world to here, from here back to your world and back to here again.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes.
You are not Vistani. No one but Vistani have been able to do that.
Until now.
Vistani can take others, so Vistani is who sent us here.
Can you find my sister in your world?
Possibly.
Can you bring her a message?
So, maybe. It just depends on when we get back there and how long we're allowed to stay before we're shunted back here.
Give us the message and we'll find out. What's the message? Our minds don't travel. Our minds are the only thing that travel, so you have to tell us. We can't bring a note.
She goes, if your theory is right, if that when my vision blurs, it's a weakening between her and me, then what I would like her to do, and she describes this ritual with candles and the crystal ball and the cards. She describes this ritual. I would like her to do this at sunrise every day, and I will do it at sunrise too, and we'll see if we can establish a connection between the two so we can share a thought, a memory, an idea. Could you ask her to do that?
We'll try.
Father Gregor takes very careful note to try to memorize the ritual and try to for future reference.
She looks at you and says, Father, would you let me do what you asked? May I enter your mind?
Very well.
She looks at you. The cloudy eye is staring deep at you. You feel like that is where she's seeing you, not through the blue eye, but through the cloudy eye. Her hand reaches out. She places it on the side of your cheek. Your skin grows cold. You see images into your head. Rapid fire dumping. This ritual becomes yours. Other rituals slip in too. Not because she's trying to give it to you, but because Professor Gregor is on the other side and seeing a library of knowledge and tomes and lore. And in this moment, he begins to hoard, trying to grab scraps of information, pulling it in. She did not want you to read in her mind, but she opened herself up to you to transfer this information to you, to reach out to her sister. And in that moment, she has exposed a weakness in herself. And Professor Gregor has now, in his metaphysical arms, is laden with scrolls and tomes and books and so much information that he needs to spend time digging through to make sense of. But you now know something more than you did before. And how this is going to play out is Professor Gregor is going to add 5 to his Cthulhu mythos on your Call of Cthulhu character. The sense you get from this is Madame Eva, also because you were in closer proximity to her than she met. The reason she did this is there's an act of desperation on her part. That whatever she's tried in the past has not worked. Repeating it is not going to work. You are a bridge to something new. And that something new may gives her hope. And that is why she looked at you and said, "You are hope."
Thank you, Madame Vistani. And I think I don't know if it's Father Gregor smiling, but it's likely Professor Gregor wearing Father Gregor's face, smiling like the cat that ate the canary. Just a very broad grin and a very distant look in his eye.
The way you kept nodding your head greedily when I was describing what you were doing was fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like one of those, like, you get like beams into your eyes and you're like writhing around.
Yeah.
So, like, you found the dragon's hoard and you're trying to take everything.
Indeed.
Madame Eva is tired. She's exhausted. She is powerful, but she's also ancient. You see her slump back into her chair, her shoulders sag. She leans forward. Her breathing is a little ragged. Travel to Vallaki, do you not? It is the way of my people to speak in riddles, to make you struggle for what you need, what you desire. I will be plain with you. There are those who can take on the form of a raven. They are guardians of this land. They could be your allies in Vallaki. What you must not do, you must not betray their trust. They do not trust easily, but if you can find a way to gain their trust, they could help you in ways I cannot. Go to the Blue Water Inn. Speak to the people who are there. See if they will accept you into their home.
Okay, why the Blue Water Inn specifically?
It is their home. It's where they live. You are unique because you have 2 souls in one body. You have maybe met those in Barovia who have no souls. They are living husks. They have no ambition, no drive. They just make it day to day to day. As the fog enclosed us, it trapped those who should have moved on from leaving. It prevents those who should be coming in from joining us. Every year as children are being born, some have souls, some are happy, they're going to have joyful lives, some do not. These were-ravens will help you in your quest. They are guardians of the soul, but you must be aware that the lord of the castle uses ravens as well as his eyes and ears.
Well, that's going to get confusing, isn't it?
And the ravens, got it.
And rats. And wolves.
Are there any ways to distinguish a were-raven from a more traditional raven? Or a servant of our friend in the castle?
If you look at a raven in the eyes, they are black, soulless orbs. when you look at a were-raven, you will see at the center of their eye a glint of color, blue or green, maybe even brown, indicative of their eyes in human form. It is not much to go on, but it is the only way you can tell them apart.
I see. Prolonged eye contact.
Find every bird we can find and just try and look them in the eyes.
I think ravens specifically.
If they say nevermore, they're probably a were-raven.
I've got one more question for you, madam. What does
Yes.
it mean to have the gift of prophecy? Who has that? Do only Vistani have that? What is it? Yeah, what is it like?
I will trust you that you will do the right thing, that we will be allies, that you will help me free the Lord of the Castle from his curse. And in doing so, I will tell you this truth. The gift of prophecy was given to me by the Night Mother for service to her. It is not a blessing, nor is it a curse. It is a burden, though, because I can see things I have no control over. I can see things I do not understand. And when they become clear, often it is too late. It is not a book written out in front of me that I can read the pages and know what the future will hold. It is a river cascading around me. And I am caught.
Could you drown in it?
There are those who have drowned in it. That is most likely the fate that awaits me. Much like a warrior, and she's looking you in the eyes, much like a warrior who uses their blade to cut and slice is likely to die by the blade. The current is most likely going to take me.
I think we should get out of here.
Fully endorsed.
I said, everybody get all their cards? Everybody good?
They collect the card. She's okay with that. You stand up. I think Blake's the first one out of the tent. When she gets out, Stan is out there, and he is kind of watching, standing guard. The other guy who's with him is off to the side. You see the two armored people are still not too far away. They've drawn a little closer in the time that's gone. Only been a couple of hours since you've left Barovia. It's not even noon yet. The sun should be high in the sky overhead. It's not. The mist, the fog, it shrouds everything in shadows. Darkness. And you hear the accordion player pick up the accordion and start to faintly play it in the background as we stop and let the echoes fade away.